Switch me on.
Hey everybody, welcome back to The Proton Pack is Not a Toy. My name is Matt, and I'm excited to announce that the first build I'm going to do in 2023 is the Charlesworth Dynamics Ghost Trap. This is the first ghost trap that I've ever built, and it'll be exciting to go through the process and show you how it goes here on the channel. I'm about a week away from having everything printed out and ready to go, but I wanted to give you guys an update on what I've been up to the last couple of weeks and kind of show you the progress that I have so far. If you're not familiar with Charlesworth Dynamics, it's Sean Charlesworth from Tested. About 6 years ago, they featured on the YouTube channel the ghost trap that he designed and built. There's a couple of videos, one that's basically assembly of the 3D printed trap, and then there's another one that shows how far you can actually take this trap to where you have gears to make the doors open and close, lights, sound, smoke effects, all of that stuff. I'm not taking it that far. I'm going to start very minimalistic on my trap. But what I do like about it is it's modular, and you're not just basically printing off a whole side of a trap, for instance. You're printing the individual little pieces. And if you decide at any point that you want to trade out a 3D printed knob for one that's real, then it's easy to take it out and then replace it with the real existing parts. Same with the metal side plates. You can buy some of those and put those on there instead. There's a lot that you can do to upgrade it. For instance, I knew for a fact that I wanted to have a resistor, a real one, on the side, so I didn't even bother to print one out. But I have started off with the Foster connector here on the back as a 3D printed version, but that eventually will be upgraded on mine as well. I do have a toggle switch and a light just as a stand-in here on the top of the battery box there, but those will be replaced as well. Other than that, most of the actual trap itself is just going to be 3D printed to start out. I might end up swapping out some of those other parts, but I might end up building a second trap and then have one that's almost completely 3D printed and then one showing the upgrades. I haven't decided yet. I'll also build the pedal once I'm done with this first trap. So there's a lot going on and going into it and in my head on things that I want to do with this. But what's cool about this trap, again, with it being modular, Charlesworth Dynamics has an Etsy page where you can go and buy the stuff that you need to upgrade it. So you can buy the aluminum side plates, you can buy some of the knobs and the resistors and the Foster connectors, the hose that connects the pedal to the trap, a lot of the greeblies that go on the ghost trap pedal itself, and a whole lot of stuff that I'm not going to use on mine with the electronics and things that you would need to make it do a lot of the stuff that I'm not going to have this trap do. But if you wanted to do that, all of that stuff is available on his Etsy shop. So again, Charlesworth Dynamics, and if you want to 3D print one of these, then you would go to Thingiverse and look it up, and pretty much ghost trap, again, Charlesworth Dynamics, and you should be able to find it, download all of the files, and then just start the process of printing them. I've started most of these. I've just kind of done preliminary cleanup on the parts, and I haven't done any filling or major sanding or priming or painting on any of this stuff yet, but I'm assuming that's going to come in the future. I am very green when it comes to 3D printing. This is my first major build that I've done with my 3D printer, so I've had some failed prints and some learning experiences along the way over the last couple of weeks, and it's helping me fine-tune it and figure out the way that I need it to work, and it's a process, and I'm figuring it out, and I'll be happy with the trap once I do get all of that stuff nailed down and figured out and ready to go. Again, talking about the Etsy shop, one of the handiest things is you can go to his shop and buy all of these screws that you need to build this ghost trap. It's 35 bucks. If you can add on some small screwdrivers that are specifically for this type of hardware. I already had the screwdriver, so I didn't, but just the screws themselves is 35 bucks. Sounds like a lot for a bag of screws, but if you start trying to source some of these for the right kinds, you're going to spend that much money. It saves you all the legwork. It's already got the ones that are, some are longer than others, some are shorter than others, based on where they go on the trap. And it's the one thing, if you're going to build one of these and absolutely have to buy something to supplement it, the screws are the way to go for that. Let me show you so far what I've got. We'll start right here. This is the front plate with the knobs. Back over here, we have the base. Mine didn't fit completely on the build plate, and so there's the option of using the sliced one and just connecting these when you actually do the build. We've got the 4 wheels and the axles, the box here on the back, again with these 3 items that will be eventually replaced with the Foster connector, the light, and the toggle switch. This is the front plate for the front where the bar graph will be. These are for mounting the side plates to the side of the trap. And then the side plates, again, these are all individual parts. And so if you want to trade anything out, or if you even want to have a Ghostbusters 1 versus a Ghostbusters 2 trap, you can do that. So for Ghostbusters 2, which is what I'm going to do on my trap, I'm going to keep the side rods as silver, and then Ghostbusters 2 has this knob here in this position as opposed to a different one with a black head on it for Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters Afterlife. Another difference is the vector plate for Ghostbusters 2 is larger on the trap there than it is for the first movie and Afterlife, and so you can print out one that's larger or smaller depending on which one you're trying to replicate. And this side plate already has the holes drilled out for either one, and so that's a cool feature there to where you don't have to change anything based on that. You can print out the one side plate and then it'll work for whatever version you're trying to build. That's another cool thing about this particular build, is he has paid attention to the differences and allows you to build a specific trap based on the movie trap that you're trying to replicate. So I do like that feature, and leads me to think, okay, maybe eventually I'll make one from different movies as well. Starting off with Ghostbusters 2 trap, mostly because I've got the Venkman Hero from Ghostbusters 2 that I featured on the channel here last year, so I felt the Ghostbusters 2 trap would be one that would work well with that. And the one I'm basing it off of is the one you see in the courtroom that Egon rolls out and they catch the Scoleri brothers in. That's a trap that was brought over from the first movie and then used in the second movie with a few modifications to it aesthetically. But that's the one that I have my eye on. Sean was very forthcoming in saying that the trap that he designed is able to look like a Ghostbusters hero trap from the first movie, but it's smaller in that it is closer to the size of the ones from Ghostbusters 2. The hero traps and the stunt traps are a little bit different, specifically on if it has a cartridge that slides in and out. This one won't have a cartridge that slides in and out, but it's designed to look like it does have one. So once it's done being built, it'll look like that compartment will slide in and out, but it will not actually be that. I have seen other ones on Etsy from other, or even on Thingiverse from other designers who have built them to where you can slide the cartridge in and out. But I'm happy just to have the appearance of that. So I'll get more into that when I actually start the build. I might actually do a proton pack detective type video for ghost traps down the line once I've done a little more thinking and research on them. And that's a possibility. But that's about all I want to show to you today. I hope you guys are excited about this as I am. And give it about a week, and then I'll be back and have most of the parts, if not all of them, ready to go and start assembly. It's a slow process. I knew 3D printing was not a fast thing, but I didn't realize that things take a while. This, for instance, took 20 hours to build. So you can be sitting here like I have been for the last couple of weeks and just staring at it, watching it go back and forth and slowly building as it goes. But it's kind of fun. It's new to me. And again, I wish they would come out a little bit faster. I know you can kind of gear things so you can shave off a little bit of time, but I do want the prints to come out right. So I'm not so worried about speed. It's just a comment on, I wasn't aware of how long some of these would actually take, but I'll practice patience and get these things out as soon as I can and ready to go. And I'll be back here on the channel probably again sometime next week with a video of starting assembly. And if not, if I'm behind the 8 ball because something went wrong, then I'll be here to explain that as well. And I do appreciate you guys checking out the channel. And hopefully in the next week or two, I'll have my HasLab pack as well. So stay tuned for that. And I might have 1 or 2 other things up my sleeve coming up in the near future. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.